Who is Peter? Peter is one of Jesus' 12 disciples. His birth name was Simon, but later Jesus gives him the new name of Peter. Peter means stone or rock. We'll get back to this in a bit. Peter is a part of Jesus' inner circle of 3, along with James and John. As such, he receives a privileged look into who Jesus is and what he does. Despite this, Peter often receives criticism, even ridicule, for his behavior. He sometimes speaks or acts before he thinks. During Jesus' arrest, Peter whips out a sword and slashes at someone, but all he gets is an ear. Luke chapter 22 verses 49 to 51. After that, Peter denies even knowing Jesus, Matthew chapter 26 verses 69 to 75. But let's not focus on these things. Let's look at the positive, for there is much to celebrate. Peter is the only one of the 12 disciples who walks on water, Matthew chapter 14 verses 28 to 33. Though his journey is short before his faith falters, remember that he's the only one to leave the safety of the boat. The other 11 don't even dare try. Peter does, and his faith is rewarded. When Jesus asks his disciples, "What do people say about me?" they give various answers. Then Jesus gets direct. "What do you say?" Not surprisingly, Peter speaks first. His bold answer fills us with confidence. "You're the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Matthew chapter 16 verses 15 to 19. Jesus blesses Peter for his spot-on answer. This truth sets the foundation for Jesus' church. That's when Jesus changes the disciple's name from Simon to Peter, which means rock, the rock on which Jesus will build his church. After Jesus rises from the dead and returns to heaven, Peter emerges as the church's first leader. Acts chapter 1 verses 15 to 26. Peter speaks on Pentecost, under the power of the Holy Spirit. 3,000 people believe in Jesus. Acts chapter 2 verses 14 to 41. Later, people lay the sick on the streets so that Peter's shadow might fall on them as he walks by. Acts chapter 5 verse 15. Though the Bible never says these folks receive healing, why would their friends position them this way if there wasn't a good reason to do so? Last, Peter writes 2 letters to Jesus' followers, which we can read in the New Testament, 1 Peter and 2 Peter. This Bible study digs into these 2 letters. Like all of us, Peter has his strengths and his weaknesses. May we seek to emulate the positive parts of Peter's example and avoid the negative. Questions: would we have walked on water with Peter or stayed in the boat with the other disciples? What in Peter's life can inform how we live ours? Discover more about Peter in Mark chapter 9 verses 2 to 8, Mark chapter 14 verses 32 to 41, John chapter 21 verses 15 to 19, and Acts chapter 3 verses 1 to 10.